On IMDb, Lena Powell 90892 says Dazed and Confused is magical, as most great films are. And while I graduated high school in 2000, it still applied to my generation. Floyd is our main guy, and we live the events of this very exciting day through him. It's the last day of school, and the party is on. A guy like Floyd is friends with everyone. He is the big shot QB and spends a lot of time with his fellow jocks. Yet he also has a close ground of friends in his stoner crowd. Slater, Pickford, and the legendary Matthew McConaughey as Wooderson. Floyd is even good friends with the nerdy outcasts. They play poker often. And he also has at least 2 girls on the hook. This film lets everyone watching know what it feels like to be invited to the big party. And the soundtrack alone makes this film essential viewing for any big party. This film doesn't really tug at the heartstrings, but there are some messages here. You could tell which characters are good people who live in the moment and cherish this very happy time of their lives, and which ones have a hard time letting go of it. You don't want this film to end, but when it does, you feel really good, and it will make you want to go out and catch the next party or the next Aerosmith concert. No matter how old you are, 5 out of 5 stars. Luckily, they also gave it 10 stars.
Wow. So, listeners know whenever Robbie pulls a positive review out, that means he didn't like it.
I did not like it.
That's funny because I also didn't like it.
Hey, you know what I love? I like when things happen in movies.
Well, I researched and people love this movie.
I have theories. Forrest Gump syndrome is what I'm calling it. FGS.
My God.
Hello, and welcome to the Royds Review Podcast. I'm Rob.
And I'm Andy.
And we are the Royds, back once again, talking about 1993's Dazed and Confused. Andy, do you feel used?
No, Robbie, but you botched it.
I disagree. How did I botch it?
How are you?
That doesn't rhyme.
You doesn't rhyme with confused?
No.
Oh my goodness.
Let's go. You know what? Let's go to Rhyme Zone right now. I'm going to go to Rhyme Zone.
Okay.
And unless it comes up with 100%, you fucked up, Andy. And you've crossed the wrong man.
This man's a stickler.
You have crossed the wrong man, Andy.
Turns out.
Confused. Search for rhymes. Let's see if you comes up.
Sometimes I have regrets.
Yeah, you should. Interesting. Nope, I don't see any you. Let's see almost rhymes. Interesting. You doesn't even come up with an almost rhyme.
Listen, Robbie.
So do you feel foolish or do you just feel stupid?
You know what? I feel fat and sassy.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Andy, how are you?
I'm all right. How about you?
I'm good. I do feel used because I had to watch this goddamn movie.
Oh, shit.
I feel used because everyone tells me this is a good movie.
Listen, I saw this back in the day, and I remember thinking to myself, I don't get it. And then I figured, similar to Goodfellas, previous episode, check it out. I remember when I saw it when I was younger, I was like, I feel like I have to be older to really appreciate this. And then I became older and watched it, and I was still like, oh, this is all right, I guess.
Yeah, but things happen in Goodfellas. There's actually excitement there.
Did you say Goodfellas?
Yeah.
Well, this came out in the year of our Megazord, I believe, 1993.
Andy, what were the top movies of 1993?
You know what? I'm thrilled that you asked.
Well, it seemed like you were setting me up to ask you, if I'm going to be honest. And also based on previous episodes of this podcast.
Yeah, that's kind of a thing we do. I was a bouncing baby boy at 2 years old.
Yeah, your father kept spiking you like a football. Why doesn't he bounce?
He's not bouncing. He's just crying a lot. He's just crying.
That's why you're actually Andy 3.
Yep. Well, number 5 was Sleepless in Seattle with $126 million.
Insomnia in Indianapolis.
Very good. Very good. Number 4 is The Firm, which is what I call my Pinachim.
Very good.
Number 3 is The Fugitive with $183 million. The Fugitive is a good movie. We should do it for this.
I couldn't think of a joke for The Fugitive, so sure.
All right. Classic Harrison Ford, just grabbing people by the shoulders, looking them dead in the eye, and then punching them in the face.
Harrison Chevrolet.
All right. Number 2 is Mrs. Doubtfire, a classic with $219 million.
Mr. Skeptical Flame.
Okay.
Like, instead of doubt, skeptical.
No, I get it.
Okay. I wanted to make sure you got it.
Yeah.
That's good stuff, Rob.
Yeah, it's very good. Very good. Do you remember back in the day when we were talking about, like, they should make a Mrs. Doubtfire 2? And the whole time he's like, oh, no. And the kids are like, Dad, we know it's you. Can you stop? He's like, oh no, hello. Dad, please. And number 1 is previous episode, Jurassic Park, with almost $1 billion, $900 million in 1993.
That's crazy that made that much money in 93. Is that all releases combined? Because they've released it like a shit ton of times in theaters.
It could be, but it also maybe not. I mean, I know that was a massive hit. Also, that's why they still make them. You know, they make fucking bank.
That's true. They're making another one, I think.
Yes, they are.
And
they'll never stop.
Not excited for it.
No, but you know what? We'll fucking see it.
Oh, of course we're gonna see it. We'll probably do a Horton Frosch.
What do you say?
I had a stroke.
Oh my God! Should we stop?
No, it's fine.
Wow,
it's fine.
Look at this guy. He's powering through.
This is the last episode. I would be dead by the end of it.
Oh my goodness! I wish it was a better movie, Robbie. I'm sorry.
That's all right. And you ready to talk about Glazed and Confused?
I think we watched 2 different movies, Robbie.
I don't know, because my eyes glazed over watching this one.
Look at this guy. He's fucking roasty and toasty.
I'd like to open up with a question.
Okay.
Questions. Why does this movie open up with 2 Universal Studio logos?
I have the same note. I'm thinking, because WB did this for, like, Joker, which took place in the 80s. They had their 80s logo up. But they didn't do 2, did they? I don't think so.
I don't remember.
I think they did, like, the 90s one, and then they did the 70s one.
I guess.
Universal one.
But I was just like, what are we doing here? Come on.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, what company made this movie?
I can't wait for the ride to open at Universal.
Yeah.
The get high and go for a drive.
Yeah, I mean, that's the 70s, baby. And I feel like that's like, a lot of this movie is just like, it's 1976, baby. And that's it. It's like, okay, I am firmly in your world. I understand this is the 70s. I fucking get it. What's happening in your movie, though?
This movie is literally 2 hours of world building. And then it just ends.
It's like a day in the life of people who were generally uninteresting.
I think that's why... Well, that's part of the reason why this movie is so well regarded. This movie does not resonate with people today. A lot of times we talk about movies not aging well. I don't think this is the case with this. There's really nothing in this that's particularly offensive about it. It's just... Nobody lives this high school life. This was not what high school is like for us. This was not our last day of high school.
No.
But I feel like this movie comes out in 1993. So all the people who graduated high school around this time, my father, both my parents, your parents have probably graduated high school around this time, 1976.
My parents got married in 1975.
That's wild. Holy fucking
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, they were 20. Yeah.
I think that's why this movie did so well, is because they just made a movie with a bunch of people going, this was me and my friends. And those people were coming into power in the early 90s and having their voices heard a lot more. And that's why they just went, well, yeah, this is great. It has all my favorite music in it.
Yeah. And it's nostalgia bait, which is rampant today.
Exactly.
It's always been rampant. But like, that being said, I don't think anybody's doing a bad job here. I just think it's largely uninteresting.
It's just boring.
Yeah.
It's totally fine.
I think that there are parts of it where I'm like, okay, that is relatable. And we'll get into that. But like you said, our high school experiences were vastly different from this.
If you showed up as a senior in high school and went to the middle school with a bunch of paddles to beat the shit out of a bunch of 8th graders, the police would show up.
Yeah.
They're like, no, you're not going to beat up a bunch of kids.
Right. And that's like, there's a point where that kid's mom pulls out a shotgun and he's like, she pulled a gun on me. Like, yeah, you were assaulting her son on his property.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Well, these guys show up to the middle school and start speaking, like talking to a speaker at the middle school, like, hey, we're going to fuck y'all up.
Yeah.
We're going to fuck y'all up. And it's like, the teachers can hear you.
The teacher smiled.
Yeah, like, you're going to get fucked up, kids. And it's like, what is this world?
I don't know, but that's a 70s, baby.
Well, that's the thing. So we open up. These opening credits are over Sweet Emotion by Aerosmith. So right away, good start, guys.
So, how do you feel about Aerosmith, Robbie?
I'm not a fan.
I'm also not a fan.
I think their music is trashy.
I think it's like Led Zeppelin and the Rolling Stones combined. It's like, and I never really liked the Rolling Stones too much. And Zeppelin, the older I get, the less I like them.
I've told you this before. I think Led Zeppelin's one of the most overrated groups of all time.
Real quick, thank you so much for listening. If you want to send us some feedback, send us an email at roydsreview@gmail.com. That's ROYDSREVUE@gmail.com.
You could also find our music on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you get your music, by searching The Royds. That's ROYDS. We have 2 albums and a Christmas song. Hope you like it. Well, we were talking about it right before Robbie hit the record button. Like you were saying, Led Zeppelin is one of the more litigious bands, with their music. They're like, you can't use it. In fact, they tried to get the rights for Rock and Roll for the end credits. And Jimmy Page was like, yeah. And Robert Plant was like, no. Yet they've stolen like their first 4 albums.
Yeah. All thieves. They've stolen everything, and they're not gonna let people use their music.
Yeah. It's like, fucking you guys suck. All right.
Get fucked.
Yeah, get fucked. Although John Bonham and John Paul Jones, some of the greatest, rhythm players to do it. Let's be honest.
My issues are not with John Paul Jones and John Bonham.
Same.
My issues are not with those 2 men.
Yeah.
But Aerosmith is just trashy Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
That's how I've always looked at them. They're just trashy. Because I always imagine the crowd at an Aerosmith concert are like 50-year-olds with tramp stamps.
Yeah, when I moved to Delaware, and I was working in a warehouse, I got a tramp stamp. It's nice. Like you have to live here. Like,
oh boy,
you got to get a tramp stamp. But I was working in a warehouse, and like we were talking about music, and they're like, how do you feel about Aerosmith? And I was like, I don't really care about Aerosmith. Yeah, like I know what I know, and I don't really like it. And they're like, oh, well, they're like my favorite band. I was like, oh, okay. And then like you talk to another guy, and that's my favorite band too. I was like, Aerosmith is whose favorite band is Aerosmith?
Trashy people.
Yeah. Also, my mom's friend when I was like in high school. Remember, Guitar Hero was huge.
Yeah.
They got me Guitar Hero Aerosmith, and I was like, "Oh, thank you so much." Immediately went to GameStop, sold that.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah.
And like Joe Perry's like a totally fine guitar player.
Yeah, and what's his name's like a good singer, at least back then.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the harmony in Sweet Emotion is very nice, but like,
But he's a terrible person.
yes, he is. Oh, that's all of them though. You know.
Oh yeah. Well, we were talking about Led
70s,
Zeppelin before.
Yeah.
Terrible people.
Listen, that's the 70s, baby.
We go around Lee High School. Gee, I wonder which Lee it's named after. And we see a bunch of different cliques. Some people are brazenly smoking weed outside of school. This is 1976 in Texas. Bullshit. Bull fucking shit. You're just smoking weed outside of school.
Yeah, like we couldn't do that.
No. And this is Texas.
Yeah.
You start smoking weed, they're going to start calling you a commie and beating you with a nightstick.
Yeah, you want to hear a quick little story about Texas?
Uh-oh.
Okay, when I was a wee lass, a little boy, in my parents' car, they got pulled over by the cops. No, wait. I fucked it up.
Awesome story, dude.
I just mixed two stories. All right. My parents were talking about taxes. And I was like, taxes? That's where the cowboys live.
Very good.
Cute.
Very cute.
Yes.
It's the last day of school. It's May 28th, 1976. Some kids are talking about a party that night. We meet Slater. He's at the water fountain, and he seemingly takes a drug of some sort. But that never really seems to come back.
I am bad with names, and there's so many characters in this movie.
I'm terrible. This movie does nothing to introduce you to the names of the characters. They just say them in passing. Eventually, I started learning the names by just pausing the movie, and the thing pops up that tells you the names of the actors and characters.
On Amazon?
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
I had to leave it paused for a few minutes when I saw some kid who was named Wiley Wiggins. Fuck yeah, his parents looked at him and named him Wiley.
Is Slater the stoner guy?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a relatable character. You know, like that one person, there were multiple where their entire personality is like, oh, I smoke weed.
Yeah,
like,
but he just seemingly took like acid at school.
Yeah.
And then
the stoner guy.
But we never see him trip.
No, I mean, maybe it was like a Pepsid. He had heartburn.
One dude tells his buddy that he had a weird dream. He had sex with a woman who had the head of Abe Lincoln. Okay.
So those I called them the intellectuals.
Yeah.
I enjoyed them. I wish that there was more of them in this movie.
My problem with them and Slater is they all just became whiny bitches by the end of the movie.
Well, yeah, that's the whole. That's what I liked about them is that they were like, oh, we're smarter, we're above all this, but at the same time, they're like, oh, when the girl's talking to Matthew McConaughey and she's like, ooh, and they're like, you like him? And she's like, yeah, he's cute. And they're like, he graduated when we were like 3. They're like, anyway, you want to go to the party? They're like, yeah. It's like they still want to fit in, even though they're like, we're above all this, but they're not.
I have no problem with them being whiny bitches, but even Slater by the end of it, he's like whining. And all he did earlier was stick up when the guy was like, would you spit or swallow, 13-year-old?
Yeah, it's yucky.
Don't clip that. Don't clip that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, and the guy was like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're like 17. That's gross.
Yeah. Also, I have a few questions. Are the intellectuals, like that group of 3, are they juniors or are they seniors? Are they graduating?
I have no idea. I thought a lot of people were graduating, but then it seemed like some people were just going into senior year.
Yeah. It's confusing.
Yeah.
Much confusion.
It's confusing because then we get a lot of like, hey, you're going to be a senior or you're graduating. Why don't you go on a date with this girl who's entering high school?
Right. And like, I figured it's less weird if they're going to be a junior. I mean, or they're going to be a senior next year. Because then, like, yeah, you'll see this person because you'll be going to school. Yeah, it's still weird, but like, there were seniors dating freshmen in high school, and even then we were like, I don't know, man, you're kind of pushing it.
Yeah.
But they are very different ages. It is a spooky, weird kind of thing. But it's the 70s, baby!
Andy was talking himself into a hole and then just ended it with the 70s.
No,
baby.
I don't. I mean, I wasn't that guy. I was largely single because of my face.
They were because all the girls in high school were too old for you.
Robbie.
Buzzing!
Well, I got left back 76 times.
Oh no. You're an old man.
Yeah. What about old kid? How you doing?
Some guys talk about having to take a pledge about not taking drugs so they can play football. And then we see in shop class, Slater and his friend are just making a bong.
Yeah. And the teacher's sleeping.
Yeah. One dude compares having to sign this drug pledge to neo-McCarthyism for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
We see some ladies talking in the bathroom. I'm honestly not quite sure about. The beginning of this movie, we're just bouncing around to different groups of people. And I was like, can we introduce somebody? Can I learn a name or two?
Yeah, it's very aimless. And I don't think it says anything until like the very end.
It never says anything.
I mean, I'll argue at when we get there. I'll argue that. But yeah, it's not saying anything with its chest, Yeah,
and like right now, we're literally just bouncing around. People are just talking, and I'm going, about what? Who are you? What is your relation to these other people I've met?
Yeah.
We see a bunch of dudes with their paddles. One of the ladies tells them, hey, don't beat my brother up too bad. And then that's when we see these high school juniors go to the middle school, and they're like, we're going to fuck you up.
Yeah.
We're going to beat the shit out of you, kids. These are 16 and 17-year-olds threatening 13 and 14-year-olds.
Yeah, that's an entirely different. One of you is a man and the other is a boy. Relax.
Yeah, stop. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
The amount of hazing in this movie is wild.
Yeah. But I wonder if was it like that in the 70s?
It must be, but I don't know, showing up to a middle school and being like, we're gonna fuck you up, and none of the teachers doing anything is a wild concept to me.
Yeah, it is bonkers.
Because if I was a parent and I was like, wait, you didn't do anything? These guys, these men drove to the school. They drove there in their car.
They parked on the grass.
And then said, we're going to fuck you guys up. We're going to line up these children and give them a paddling. And you just sat there?
Yeah. I mean, like all high school movies, this is definitely exaggerated. There was definitely some hazing, but I don't think it was to this degree. It could have been. I don't know. I'm a wee lass, Robbie.
That's true. Some coaches talk to the kids. Then we see Ben Affleck pulling up with a paddle. Right away, I'm going, he looks older. He looks a lot older than all the other kids.
He's supposed to because he's a super duper senior or whatever.
Yeah, they mention it because at one point the kid goes, did he get held back just to do this again?
Yeah.
What a loser.
Honestly, I thought Ben Affleck was great in this.
So do I. I think the performances in this are good.
Yeah, and I think the direction is good too. I just think what is it,
Yeah. I like these young kids asking their teacher, hey, can we leave early? And the teacher's like, why would I do that?
Yeah. He's like, I don't care if you get beat. I don't give a shit.
Well, he also gives some story about being in the military at one point.
Yeah.
I also love this Uber teacher outfit where he's wearing he's got the bow tie and the polka dotted shirt.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that. I also we hear the teacher talking, and she says that her time at the 68 Democratic Convention was bitchin'.
Yeah, she does. And she reminds them that, the country was founded because a bunch of dudes didn't want to pay 2% taxes.
Yeah.
was like, hell yeah, brother.
Well, I love this. It's the movie stereotype or the movie archetype of like that female teacher who just hates the man.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
usually see this in a college setting. We don't typically see this in a high school setting.
Yeah. This is true.
We then hear school's out as the students just destroy the school as they're leaving. That poor janitor.
They're just like ripping books up and throwing the papers in the air. The fuck, man?
That's something the school needs to put a stop to. Because, again, the janitor's the one cleaning that. The teachers are just going to bail.
Yeah.
And that's when we see the high school kids show up to the middle school with paddles. And we see the high school girls are also hazing the middle school girls.
The girls' hazing is way nicer than the boys. Like, getting covered in ketchup and flour is a lot better than having a bruised anus.
That is, well, it's not hold on, no, their anus is not getting bruised.
Listen, I got no cheeks,
how,
Robbie.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think you know how a paddle works.
They're turning it so that the flat side, yeah, it's going right in your crack.
I'll take the paddling. That's a paddling.
And I wrote that before they got into like, you spit or swallow. I was like, okay, that's fucking disturbing and demeaning and several times. And then they take them to a car wash.
Yes.
And that's kind of fucked up too, because that water pressure is crazy.
Yes. I will say I like Parker Posey a lot, leading it as like a boot camp.
Yes.
She's a lot of fun. This is also where we see the mom pull the shotgun on Affleck as he's going to paddle the two kids because he chased them to their house.
Yeah, and I like how all the other seniors are like, they're not taking it nearly as far as he is. They're kind of like, all right, man, relax.
Here's my issue with this character. This guy shouldn't have friends.
No.
In my grade, there was a kid who got left back. And the year before he got left back, he had a lot of friends, always had people laughing. But then when he got left back, that laughter fucking stopped.
Yeah.
Because now he was the butt of the joke. He actually wound up leaving the school after the year because he was just getting made fun of all the time. No one wants to hang out with the dude who gets left back.
No. And that's like, you gotta, if you're gonna leave a kid back, you gotta do it like as early as possible.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta do it in like first, second grade. Like, that's when you do it.
And that's the problem. You can't really leave a kid back that young because it's like, what are they being punished for?
Right. Well, it's usually the academics, the grades.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah, but I'm glad at least one guy is like, what are we fucking doing with these paddles?
Yeah, and like they were making them in shop class.
Yeah. Like they're like naming them and shit.
Yeah. What the fuck? You people are insane.
The high school girls cover the middle school girls in condiments, and then that's when they make them propose to the random guys. That's when they get that really gross, do you spit or swallow? And again, Slater's going, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then we even get that red-haired guy get up, get off the ground.
Yeah. It's I really did not, that made me very uncomfortable. That one where like he says, do you spit or swallow? And she's like, whatever you want. And I was like, this is fucking gross, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch this.
No, she is entering high school, brother. Like,
yeah.
Let's not do this.
Relax, Brojwarg.
We see Affleck tell the other guys that the gun was pulled on him, and we see the girls drive the other girls through a car wash. We see some dudes buying weed from whatever that guy's name, Pinkton, whatever his name is. The keg pulls up to the house. The dad confronts the kid about it. And I like the kid going up to the guy being like, you're at the wrong house, right?
Yeah. The guy's like, oh, yeah. Yeah, my bad.
You're early. He goes, yeah, I'm like 45 minutes early. What's the big fucking deal?
Yeah, I did like throughout the movie, you see people ringing the doorbell and the dad coming to the door and they run away. Like,
yes.
That was funny. I like that.
That's the thing. It felt like this movie wanted to be like an 80s boob comedy.
Yeah, like a John Hughes type movie.
Yeah. But then they pulled back and was like, but what if we just make it a hangout movie? And I was like, well, if you make it a hangout movie, now nothing's happening.
Right. Yeah. And Quentin Tarantino says this is one of his favorite movies.
Good for him.
Yeah.
That guy makes good hangout movies, like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Well, Quentin Tarantino is also the 70s.
That's true.
So he relates.
We see everyone getting ready for the party. We see this baseball game. That's when Ben Affleck's really sticking out because it looks like a bunch of children and then Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
That's when we first see the first scene of the father answering the door for some party goers and then be like, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
We see Mitch pitching and the older kids are heckling him. Let him pitch, brother.
Well, there's like a montage of the girls getting ready, and there's one girl who has help from her friend who has a pair of pliers on the zipper to her jeans.
Yeah.
She's pulling it up. I was like, holy shit. That's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Like this movie is well done, like we said, and it's I wouldn't say tasteful, but it's not about that. Like they talk about like, yeah, dog and chicks and like all that shit. Nobody's like acting on the shitty shit that they're saying, other than like Ben Affleck, and he gets his comeuppance.
But no one's motivated by anything here.
Right,
except for the
high
kids
schoolers,
who, yeah, they're just motivated by paddling younger children.
Yeah.
That's cool, guys.
That's really just Ben Affleck. Like the rest of them are just like there. Like they paddle like two kids and
his
like,
buddy
right.
Melvin's pretty into it.
Which one's that? I don't know the names.
The guy with the afro.
Oh yeah, he was like the
I'm
second...
refraining from describing him how I normally would because people are still giving me shit on that Instagram post.
Oh yeah. Well, him and the white dude with the afro as well.
With the red hair?
Is it red? I don't remember.
Yeah.
They're like three of those, like Ben Affleck, that guy, and the other guy. They're like
I just learned that one guy's name is Melvin Spivey in the movie.
Spivey. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, they're like losers, and like most of the people are kind of treating them as such.
Yeah. You could tell when they're paddling Mitch after the game, and they're like, hey, other guy, Jason London's character, do you want to take a few swings? And he's like, and then he just does like one quick little doot.
Yeah, that's Pink, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Pink. And
I was getting him and the kid who with the beer at his house, and his dad is answering the door. I was getting them confused because they look exactly the same.
Yes, they do. One is named, they call him like Pink because his last name is Floyd.
Yeah, that's like the main guy.
Yes, and
he won't sign the paper.
Yeah. It's like, dude, just sign it. It's not like it means anything.
Well, that's like at the end, that's what it comes to, and we'll talk about that. I think that's the best part of the movie because it's something, and like everything else is nothing. But like what you were talking about at the baseball game, like the senior, they're like fucking like they're preying on a child at his baseball game. It's a fucking like little league game, guys. But also, where are the adults? Where's the coach? Where are the parents? Why wouldn't the parents be at the game?
Yeah. And there are other people there. Someone just be like, will you shut the fuck up?
Yeah. And like, hey, why do you have a paddle? And why are you preying on my child? Like, what is going on here?
The extent you're going to paddle this kid is insane.
Truly.
So Jason London, he drives Mitch home and he goes, hey, you're pretty cool. Why don't you come on out later? And then we get a bunch of driving around scenes while Lowrider plays. Again, it's just nothing happening. It's just people are driving while a song plays. And I think that's another big reason people love this movie. It's because they're going, I like this song.
Yeah, I know that song, and I drive a car.
And well, that's the thing. I think they're just watching this movie, and they're just bopping their head to the music.
Yeah, I mean...
because we get almost all of Lowrider as they're just fucking driving around.
Yeah. What about when they do some mailbox baseball?
Oh, I think that's later. A little bit later, or that could be it.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
What? Because that's when we get one of the kids being like, one of the intellectuals going, I don't want to be a lawyer. I want to be a dancer. And I'm like, is that a joke? I don't know if that's a joke.
I think that was a joke.
We finally meet Matthew McConaughey. And him and Jason London pick up the kid, and they take him to a pool hall as Hurricane by Bob Dylan plays. Andy, do you like billiards?
Yeah.
It's fun, right?
Yeah.
Would you ever take a 14-year-old to a billiards hall?
No.
Don't you think that's pretty irresponsible?
Yes.
I agree. I think that is pretty irresponsible. What the fuck? I do like these painted kiss statues.
Yeah. Yeah.
We see more people show up to the party house, getting turned away by the dad. We see some dudes squabble about girls. One dude talks about the sniffing butt stage. He's like, you probably never got past the sniffing butt stage. It's like, what?
I think that's like an analogy, a metaphor. I don't know, for like, flirting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because dogs sniff each other's butts. They get to know each other.
Very good.
Yeah. I don't think he's talking about actually sniffing ass.
I was wondering. I was like, what stage is... I'd never had that stage.
I've never really... Excuse me. You mind bending over? I just gotta... Oh, that's a good shit.
Oh, no. We then go back to the school or something. And there's this really young teenage party going on for like the middle schoolers. And it's all well and good until there's a makeout room.
Yeah, and they're like, there's chaperones there.
Yeah.
Like just guarding the door, and they're like, this is where the kids make out. What?
No, not in the school, brother.
No. But then like they like interrupt that kid making out with a girl, and they're like, come on. And he just like gets up. Like if that was me, I'd be like, no. You see what I'm doing here?
Yeah, you can leave.
Kidding? Are you kidding? Fuck off, dude.
And then even worse, because he's the only one of them that gets paddled, and their friends just like, sucks to be you, brother.
Yeah.
Yo, what you can tell that dude is gonna become a villain. That was the beginning of that guy's villain arc.
Yeah.
He's gonna start going to the gym, and in a couple years, he's just gonna beat the shit out of those two.
Yeah. He's like, you remember that time I was making out with a girl and you wrote it?
As he's getting paddled, the girls pull up, and these dudes have a trunk full of beer.
It's illegal.
Is it?
I mean, if it's open. There were a lot of people with open bottles while driving. That's illegal.
Oh, Andy, this is 1976, brother.
That's right, brother. That's the 70s, brother.
I think that law went into effect in 1981, brother.
Holy shit. You seem like you know precisely when that went into...
Well, haven't you seen the videos of the people being interviewed on the news about it, and they're like really upset about the drinking and driving laws?
No, I haven't.
Yeah. He's like, if I want to have a couple of beers on my way home after a long day at work, I should be allowed to do that.
All right, brother.
It's like, hey, you know what? I'm not going to argue because I think you'd shoot me.
Yeah.
I love when the dudes are talking outside the billiards hall. One dude uses his belt buckle as a bowl.
Yeah.
I'm on board with that. That's a lot of fun. This is where we get the mailbox baseball, because some of the dudes with Jason London and the kid go for a ride. And that's where we see Slater goes and just hangs out with McConaughey. This is a weird thing about this movie, is a lot of it's just like, hey, you're going to drop me off with these guys, and then you can go out, and then you'll drop him off, and then you'll come back. And it's a lot of like just people dropping each other off and then coming back.
Yeah, and which makes for a confusing watch.
Yeah. Yeah, because again, I'm going, who is who? Where are they? Who are they with? What are we doing?
Right. And Matthew McConaughey was universally praised. This like started his career.
Yeah.
And like it's good. He's great. But like he's got like 7 lines. I feel like Ben Affleck did a better job.
Yeah,
overall.
I think Affleck's a lot more fun in this than McConaughey is.
Yeah. But also like, why are you guys hanging out with this guy?
When you're younger, okay, here's the problem, I think. When you're younger, it's like, oh, I'm hanging out with the older guy. That makes me cool. And then when you get older, you realize, oh, that guy was a fucking loser. This is where the dudes start driving around. I finally learned one of the characters' names was Don Dawson.
Dong.
No.
Oh.
He picks up a trash can, and this is where he makes a mess all over the road. I got really angry about this, and then I go, in fairness, this is the type of shit I would have done as a shitty teen. So,
Yeah, I did a lot of dumb shit as a teenager. But I don't think I was wasn't destroying anything, I don't think.
yeah. I don't think I ever destroyed property because I was afraid of getting arrested.
Same.
I was always loud. It was always loud, and people would be like, shut the fuck up. I'm going to call the cops because you're loud. And the cops would just show me like, stop being loud. We can't arrest you because you're just loud.
Yeah, that and being somewhere that you're not supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like a park after dark.
Exactly.
Like you hop the fence and they're like, yo, you can't be here. You're like, all right.
It's like, all right, that's fair.
Yeah.
This is where we get some mailbox baseball. Then fucking they go, yo, throw the bowling ball.
Yeah, I like how it goes through the windshield and they're all silent for a second. They're like, oh, shit. Like, yo, he really did it.
Well, that's something we've all experienced. Of like,
yeah, like when somebody goes that extra, they're a little too far and you're like, oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
That's when it all comes rushing to you. You're like, oh, we're doing dumb shit.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we might get in trouble.
Yeah, scatter, run.
Yeah, it's like when you're fucking around at the fucking gun range.
What?
We go to the gas station, and the dude's like, I'm going to steal this beer. And they're like, don't. And the guy's like, I don't think. He goes, I'm fucking with them. I'm going to buy the beer.
Yeah.
So he tricks him. He goes running in. And then the guy shows up with the gun.
Yeah.
He's like, I thought you said you bought the beer. He goes, I did.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, you broke my fucking mailbox, and I saw you. I'm going to kill you. I called the cops.
Over a mailbox, brother?
Well, then he's like, that's a federal crime, brother.
Yeah, but you're going to shoot me over a mailbox, brother?
Yeah, and then he does. He shoots at them.
Yeah, because they're driving away, and he's just firing.
Yeah, I thought that was going to come back at some point.
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. The cops never come looking for them.
Nope. You would think that man would have written down their license plate or something.
Nope. He was just too focused on the trigger.
Yeah, he seemed to be a little unhinged, to be fair.
Well, he was shooting at people over a mailbox.
Yeah. Yeah.
We get a quick scene in a car, a quick scene in the billiards hall. The intellectuals talk about existential stuff. Mitch buys beer, tells the cashier he's 18 and working for the city.
And it just works.
Yeah. The cashier's like, you are 18, right? He's like, yeah, totally.
Yeah. You look like a little girl.
That's when Mitch and his friends plan to get back at Ben Affleck's character. They put the plan in motion as Don gives Mitch some girl advice. And they're like, oh, yo, Ben. I don't know the character's name. Oh, O'Banion. That's his name. O'Banion. Yeah. Yo, we got the kid whose mom pulled the gun on you. And then what is that, paint all over him they poured on him?
I think it was cum.
I don't think that was a thick load of cum.
You know?
I think it was paint.
You know me, Robbie.
That's fair. You are the cum master.
That's what they call me.
Yeah, the cum summoner. The cummoner.
I thought that Ben Affleck's performance after he gets covered in paint is like chef's kiss. Like genuine rage. He breaks the paddle on the floor.
Yes.
Like, I thought it was excellent. And everybody's like, whoa, dude. Whoa. And then
everyone's laughing at him.
Yeah, he just fucking leaves.
He's that mix of anger and embarrassment.
Yeah, it's great. And he drops the F bomb.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Again, a lot of restraint with stuff like that for a movie that takes place in the 70s.
Yeah, but honestly, that performance, I was like, people don't talk about Ben Affleck in Dazed and Confused. They only talk about Matthew McConaughey. But Ben Affleck's stealing the show, I think.
McConaughey tells the intellectuals about a new party. He says some more weird stuff, and that's when they're like, you like him? She's like, yeah, which would make sense why she would like him.
Yeah. But I did like how they were like, so we going to the party? They're like, yeah. It's like they think they're above it, but they're just the same, They want to fit in.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Some dudes race as Kiss plays. It's always weird hearing the studio version of Rock and Roll All Night.
This is true.
You just get used to the live version.
Yeah. Speaking of which, how do you feel about Kiss?
Oh, I don't like them.
Me neither.
I like some songs. I like more Kiss songs than I like Aerosmith songs.
Same. I like songs like Strutter. Got a bomb-ass riff.
I like God Gave Rock and Roll to You.
Is that Kiss?
They have a version of it.
Oh,
And I like
kind
their
of like
version of
Argent
it.
or something.
I think it is
They
originally
covered
Argent.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Kiss,
Um,
yeah, it's like guy version 2 or some shit like that. I don't know. I like it.
yeah.
I like
I
Kiss's
like.
version of it.
I like.
I Was Made for Loving You.
I Was Made for Loving You. Yeah, Kisco. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Same.
I'll die
I
on that
also
hill.
like
That's a good song.
Love Gun. It's a guilty pleasure of mine.
Yeah.
I put that on in the car. My wife will fucking blow her brains out.
Eh.
It's just funny that he's belting out like the highest note that he can hit about his dick. That's so funny to me.
Hey, that's music, baby.
Yeah. That's like in like Christmas music when people are like belting out about Santa. That's hilarious to me.
I get it.
It's
Music-
so funny.
Music is objectively hilarious. I've said this all the time. Music is the funniest shit in the world because it's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, but it could also be like profound.
No, it can't.
It can, Robbie. Have you
No,
ever heard my song Spine Daddy?
Yes, I have. You know what? You've got me. You got me.
Yeah,
You win.
Yeah.
You won.
Previous
Mu-
episode, check it out.
Music is the silliest shit in the world because it's so funny and people get so mad and so snobby about nothing. And I used to be the same way when I was like 16. I'd be like, "Duh, duh, 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 duh." But now there are like adults who like will listen to music other people are listening to and be like, you know what you're listening to is bad, right? And it's like, hey,
Yeah, well, that's the
you're a fucking adult, brother.
yeah. It's like how can you not see that was you? Like you're being your dad.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
How can you not see that?
Like, and that's what happens. And like, but then when I see people who are adults doing it, I was like, come on, just let people enjoy what they enjoy.
Yeah.
We get this scene where some guy goes, smells like reefer or some shit. And the guy, that pisses some guy off for some reason.
Yeah. That's what's his name? That's one of the intellectuals.
Yeah.
Goldberg, the wrestler.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Adam Goldberg. That's
Yeah.
his name. The
And then-
Hebrew Hammer. You ever see the Hebrew Hammer?
No.
Oh, it's like Undercover Brother, but for Jewish people.
Oh, so it's funny.
Yeah. It is funny.
Then the dude who mentioned the he's like, you know what? I am going to fight the other guy. I figure I'll get a couple good licks in and then they'll break up the fight. He was wrong about that one.
He was. Yeah.
We see dudes climbing the water tower. The blonde dude from earlier flirts with the girl from before. And again, it's weird because he's supposed to be about 16 or 17 and she's like 13 or 14. It's weird. Now, granted, he's a little more respectful, but it is odd because later on, Parker Posey comes over and she's like, air raid. And she's like, I'm not doing that. And he's like, it's cool because she's with me. And she's like, air raid. Like, what is this? What is this?
Yeah. Well, she was fucking hammered.
I also wonder. Yeah.
She ain't remembering that for sure.
I also wonder.
She was like, I'm gonna make her life a living hell. And they're like, all right.
I also wonder if she was trying to protect the younger girl from being with an older guy, but that doesn't seem to be what this movie's about at all. So
yeah, it doesn't seem like that's her thing, especially because she was making people propose to older kids. Yeah, she's the bad guy here.
Yeah. A couple of dudes have a heart-to-heart about football, and at this point, I'm so checked out because one guy's mad. He's like, if you quit on us, you're quitting on all of us.
Well, that's the thing. Once, like, we finally get to, like, a real thing, and we're, like, almost 2 hours in at this point. Like, oh, now I'm supposed to, like, be focused in on this. Like, no, you've been babbling for an hour and a half. And now you're like, okay, now we're getting to the plot. It's like, no, that's not how it works.
No, if you want this to be the focus, this needed to be a football movie.
It needed to be like a through line throughout the movie, but it's only like it's bookended. It's like at the beginning, they fuck off about it. And then at the end, it's like, no, for real now.
Yeah, that's the problem is this is the closest thing they have to a story and they just don't use it.
Yeah, not until the end. Here's a question, though. Questions. Is Mila Jovovich playing that guitar for real?
I have no idea.
Because I was looking at it, her left hand was out of frame, but her right hand looked legit. So I researched, Turns out, yes, she is, and she was playing an original song of hers because she has albums.
Interesting.
Yeah, after this movie, she quit acting and like put out an album or two or something, and then came back for acting in like '97.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, didn't know that.
Slater talks about George Washington being in an alien cult. Then we see some lady lead Jason London out to the woods. They make out for a while, and then it turns out he has a girlfriend that we've never heard about in this movie.
Well, apparently she was there the whole time. It's the girl from
The blonde?
yeah, the blonde girl with the raspy voice. She's in one of the Adam Sandler movies. I forget which one. She
But
plays
still,
Layla. Is that Mr.
like-
Deeds? I don't know.
Why would you wander off into the woods then and start making out with this lady?
Yeah, they start making out, and he's like, "All right, we're taking it to the next level." And she's like, "You have a girlfriend. Like, why are you making out with me?"
Yeah, it's like, you did this. You brought me out here.
Yeah, and I like you said, I totally forgot he had a girlfriend.
Yeah. Slater
So what was the point?
There was no point. Just to show the follies of youngness.
Sure.
Slater rambles about Washington smoking the good. The seniors call Mitch away from the girl he's talking to. At one point, everyone's talking, and it does pop me when someone goes, "Hey, Kramer, show it." I don't know, that made me laugh. That's when we get the air raid scene. And then we get the fight between the intellectual and the other dude because he just walked up to him and pours beer on him, and he gets his ass kicked.
Yeah, he does.
Tuesday's Gone by Leonard Skinner plays as the party wraps up. A bunch of friends go to smoke a joint at the 50-yard line. We get some really uncomfortable flirting and a kiss. It's weird.
With who?
I think it's the older boy and the girl.
Oh, one of the intellectual guys.
No, it's isn't it the fucking blonde-haired guy with the girl from before?
Yeah, the air raid girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the intellectual guys.
Oh, okay, then yes.
Yeah, and they smooch. Yeah.
It's like, it's weird.
I sincerely hope that he's like a junior.
Me too.
Still weird, but less weird.
A cop breaks up the party on the 50-yard line and even makes mention to Matthew McConaughey. He's like, "Hey, still trying to relive old glories." It's like, that's weird.
Yeah, and this is where I thought that this is the best scene in the movie is when they're on the football field. Because, like, he says, like, if these are the greatest years of my life, I'm going to fucking kill myself. And, like, you have the entire spectrum there. Like, he's unsure of what he wants to do, but he knows this isn't his peak. And then there's Matthew McConaughey, who's like clearly just a scared man who's like, I'm scared. Why would I move
He's scared
on?
because he thinks the cop's going to arrest him.
Yeah, because he's a fucking freak. But he's like, why would I do anything else when these are my glory days? Why don't I just stay here? You know, like, life ain't getting any better than this. Dogging chicks and all that. And then, like, there's the other guy who is like, well, while I'm here, I figure, I do my best. I do everything I can. And then, like, eventually I'll move on. But, like, just fucking sign the paper, man. Like, just play
it doesn't
football.
matter. They're not going to drug test you.
Right. And then, like, they talk to the coach, and the coach is like, "Yeah, you didn't sign the paper. I'm going to let this one go." And he's like, he crumples a paper, he throws that at him. He's like, "Nah, fuck you and fuck football." And
Well,
fuck
no, he's
everything.
like, "I might play football, but I'm not going to sign this piece of paper." It's like, all right, well.
It's like, you're not taking a real stance, man.
Yeah. You want your cake and you want to eat it too. Like, come on.
Yeah, I liked the football field scene just because, the reasons I said.
Yeah.
But
Mitch gets home and his mom catches him. She lets him off the hook. He puts on headphones as Slow Ride by Foghat plays. Then we see London, McConaughey, Slater, and girl drive off to go buy Aerosmith tickets.
and that's it.
That is the movie. Like you said earlier. They tried to get rock and roll to play over the end credits.
Yeah.
One, why would you not try to get Dazed and Confused? Your movie's called Dazed and Confused.
Yeah.
And then once you couldn't get the rights to Dazed and Confused, change the title of the movie. You don't need to call this Dazed and Confused.
I guess it's because your boy is dazed and confused about his future. I don't know. How do you feel about Slow Ride?
It's fine.
I like Slow Ride.
Yeah, it's fine.
There's slap bass in there.
There's a lot of slap bass.
Yeah, never realized that.
Again, it's a good song. I like it. I think I heard it a lot as a kid, so I'm like, yeah, I can take it or leave it at this juncture.
You know what I like? This is how I know I like that song. I left it on, like as the credits rolled, just so I could get to the very last part. It was like, bam. I'm like, oh damn, that's
the mic didn't catch. The mic didn't pick that up.
All right, well, I like the end.
Just telling you right now, the mic didn't pick up your high note there.
All right, well, he does the high note, and then the drums go, and they do the big bam, and I'm like, hell yeah, brother, that's rock and roll. Rock and roll, brother.
Rock and roll.
Golly, that rock and roll.
You want to go to Letterboxd?
Boy, do I, Robbie.
I think this movie is ultimately very boring. I think we're just kind of bouncing around. They don't do enough to introduce us to anybody, and ultimately, nothing happens. I think everyone does their job totally fine. I think it's 2 stars.
That's nice. I would have went like 1.5, but I'll do 2.
I went with 2 stars. Look at us.
I guess we'll just do what you want then, Robbie.
We are. Isn't that incredible? Isn't that amazing how that works?
Yeah, I mean, like we said, it's a competently made movie. Everybody's doing their best. The only performance I would say wasn't great was the long-haired kid.
It was fine
because he just kept like putting his hand on his face, like he'd sigh and put his hand on his face, and I was like, stop doing that. But other than that.
Acting coach Andy, stop doing that.
Yeah. Hey, don't do that. Other than that, performances are great. It's just aimless and nostalgic for something that we did not experience. And therefore, we're out of the loop. You know, this movie's not for us, I don't think.
That I agree with.
Yeah.
That being said, I do have 4 trivia questions.
Wow, I have 3 trivia questions.
I'll go first.
Altogether, that makes 7 trivia questions, Rob.
That's math.
Yeah.
What movie is playing at the cinema? The song remains the same. Hitchcock's Family Plot. Taxi Driver. The Outlaw Josie Wales.
That would be Hitchcock's Family something.
Yep, Hitchcock's Family Plot.
That's the one. What song by Deep Purple were the boys, Benny, Don, and Pink, listening to in the truck right after he promised to take it easy on What's-Her-Name's brother? Was it Smoke on the Water, Highway Star, Maybe I'm a Leo, or Space Truckin'?
I believe it was Highway Star.
It was Highway Star. That song's fucking fire, brother.
It is. Yeah.
That whole album's fire. Machine Head, it's a good album.
What's the name of the baseball team that Mitch is on? The Rangers, the Astros, the Brewers, the Braves.
The Brewers?
No.
The Braves.
It is the Braves.
Yeah, brother. What Ted Nugent song is playing when Kevin gets beer delivered to his parents' house? Is it Cat Scratch Fever, Wango Tango, or Stranglehold?
I have no idea. I am not a Ted Nugent fan. Stranglehold?
It is Stranglehold.
What a guess.
Yeah, I only put 3 because I only know 3 Ted Nugent songs.
What is the name of Melvin Spivey's paddle? The Hammer, the Soul Slapper, Soul Pole, Spanky Spivey.
The Soul Slapper.
No.
Damn, the Soul Pole?
It is.
Really?
Yeah, it says soul pole on it.
Wow. Whoa. How many times is the word man spoken in this movie?
Fuck.
Is it 106, 205, 302, or 400?
302.
No.
What was the second one?
205.
205.
Correct.
Wow.
He's done it.
How much do cigarettes cost according to the sign on the gas station?
Damn.
50 cents, 60 cents, 70 cents, 80 cents.
60 cents.
We used to be a proper country, Andy.
Is that correct?
Yeah, you were correct.
Wow.
We used
How
to
much
be
are
a
cigarettes
proper
now?
country. Way too much money, like $20 a pack.
Holy shit.
Yeah. They're taking our freedoms away from us, Andy.
Robbie, you don't smoke.
I know. I wrote a song.
Hey, me too.
No, you didn't. You're lying.
No, Robbie, I did.
I called him out, everybody.
Yeah, but you were wrong. I did.
I called
Sent
him
it
out,
to-
everybody. Don't you worry.
Robbie's stolen because he can't find a pick.
I got something to flip. I got a Lego to flip.
Flip
Andy,
that shit.
you want heads or tails?
Heads, I guess.
It's heads.
Hey, brother. What kind of song you got?
It's kind of slow. It's in 6/8.
6/8, you say?
Yeah.
All right, you go first.
All right. My song is called Wising Up. I named that right before we jumped on this call because I didn't have a name for it. But here it is. It's called Wising Up, and it's about the movie Dazed and Confused.
A new beginning in the summertime. We're raising hell in the starting line. Heat's pouring down in the Austin sun. My friends and I, we're just having fun. As time drifts on, as we're growing old, and life starts moving fast, we're rising up with each passing day. All these moments were meant to last. You pay your dues and you're a friend of mine. After we fight, we'll share our beer and wine. Hop in the car and we'll smoke a J. 'Cause now we're boys and boys are gonna play. As time drifts on, as we're growing old, and life starts moving fast, we're rising up with each passing day. All these moments were meant to last.
That was my song called Wisen Up.
Nice.
It was about the movie Dazed and Confused. And I couldn't really latch on to anything in this movie to write about. So I just wrote a song about getting older.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, because I just feel like that's something that everyone's kind of experienced, getting older. Well, yeah, that's because you died when you were 3.
Yep, I'm a ghost.
It's incredible. I've been doing a podcast with a ghost. This is the power of EVPs, executive vice presidents.
Yep. Well, I liked your song. I enjoyed the brum 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 brum.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I can't. Andy's talking to me through the Oculus 3.
Yep.
That's if anyone watches ghost hunting shows, that's something they use on those. I love that shit. Yeah. It's just some stupid little machine that's like, oh, there's a bank of words, and the ghost can say a bank of words, and they'll be walking, and all of a sudden the word will probably like 40. You're like, oh, I just said 40. Were you 40 when you died? and then like they're walking, and it says they're walking, and they're like bed 40 bed. Did you own 40 beds? It's like, I think he died in bed. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's that guy who like walks into a house and he's like, "Yo, I'll fuck this ghost up."
I love that shit. It's that's Ghost Adventures. Zach Bagans has chilled out significantly since his early days.
Okay, that's good.
I love that shit. I love his show. I love Ghost Adventures.
Would you kiss him?
Probably not.
Oh, okay.
Like, I just don't think he'd want me to kiss him. So.
No, I'm just saying, like, if everybody was consenting, would you kiss him?
Yeah, probably. Why not?
Okay.
I'm not a picky man.
No.
Andy, tell us about your song.
All right, my song is called, Robbie, you know what my song's called?
I do.
What is it called?
More to Me.
More to Me. That's right.
Mordecai.
Mordecai. Oh, it's yep. It's called More to Me, and it's about pretty much Pink and his all his bullshit. And
Nice.
when I started writing, I was like, I want to do like a 70s type song. So I legitimately straight up wrote Free Ride, which I believe plays in this movie by the Edgar Winter Group. And as I was playing it, I was like, this is pretty good. Oh, wait. This is already a song.
Were the lyrics the same too?
No, but it was when I
take a free ride.
Like when I got to the chorus, I went like F sharp minor G A, and I was like, "That's cool." Wait, that's the chorus of.
I was gonna say, I was like, I don't know, dude. I've never played
Free
Free
like
Ride.
bam, 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 bam. You know, so.
So then you wrote a song that sounded exactly like Frankenstein.
Yep,
Nice.
that's what it is. Bam, 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 bam. But like, then I wrote a different song, and turns out it sounded very much like Mob Rules by Black Sabbath. So I said, let me write my own fucking song.
That's a smart idea.
Yeah, so I came up with this, and it's called More to Me, and it goes like this.
Last day of school, and I'm feeling pretty cool. Dogging chicks, playing tricks on freshmen. These are the best years of my life, so they say. If that's true, I would blow myself away. If these are the best years, what's the point of moving on? I can look back and say I did my best. I can look back and say it with my chest. There's gotta be more to me than this. There's gotta be more to me than this.
That's my song called More to Me.
I like that. I like it a lot.
There you go. I went for does it sound 70s?
Yeah.
It's got like that boom bap, bap, like I feel like a lot of when I think 70s, I think like a big A chord.
Yes, I totally get that.
So like I don't know, kind of like yours towards the end, lyric wise, I kind of just more about growing older generally, like if I could go back, would I change a thing or would I make the same mistakes who made me who I am? Which is that what this movie's about? Probably not, but that's what I thought about. Yeah. But yeah, it just him contemplating on the football field where he's like, there's got to be more. Like if these are the best years of my life, well, I'm gonna fucking kill myself because this sucks. So yeah, and you do a big guitar solo at the end and you fade out, just like 38 Special.
I like it, and I like 38 Special.
Yeah, that song's a bop.
I agree.
That's really all I know.
They also had So Caught Up in You, Little Girl.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know the words.
No, that's it. You nailed it. That's it.
No, I like your song. I like the acoustic guitar in it as well.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I like that little hammer on the pull-offs.
Ah, of course. You carry the 6.
Very good.
I gotta get all my guitars set up. Like,
yo,
it's been like
samesies, girl.
Yeah, like since we started this podcast, like fucking almost 3 years ago, right? It's got to be that long.
It's been like
2.5. Right?
It's been over 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I haven't got my guitar set up, and there was years before that I also hadn't got them set up. So like, it's about time. Also, my amp is a tube amp, and it's just so buzzy.
More like a boob amp.
Nice. I got to get my tubes tied.
No, Andy. Just, what they do is never mind.
Rami.
We're not doing that.
Rami.
Andy.
Oh, what do we got going on next week?
Damn it, you asked me first, and the problem is I have the list up. So I can tell you what I have, what we're doing next week.
Okay.
But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make you guess.
Shit, we're still doing 90s stuff, right?
Yes, we're still in the 90s, and there is a sequel coming out to this movie very soon.
Is it Twister?
That's right, the hot spot itself. We're doing Twister.
Nice. Now, is this about a purple nurple?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's just about a monster going around and giving people purple nurples.
Count me in, brother.
Oh, no. It's that movie about tornades.
Tornades.
Yeah, the big spinny boys.
Yep.
I've never seen Twister.
Me neither.
Oh, first timers.
Yeah, I went on the ride in Universal.
Be gentle. So did I.
Nice. And I remember being very underwhelmed as a 9-year-old.
I was older than 9, and I remember thinking, this is pretty cool.
I think they updated it. Because, like, I remember, like, you just stood there, and it was just, like, shit blew by you.
Nope, that's what it was when I went there.
Well, I remember being like, wow, King Kong was a lot cooler than this.
I am very easily impressed, because I think the Twister thing isn't that part in Universal. It's part of a bigger thing where they're just showing how to do movie effects.
Possibly. I don't know. Again, I was 9.
Yeah, so you being underwhelmed makes me feel like, no offense, at 9 you didn't realize that it wasn't just a Twister ride.
Right, probably.
Because it was tied into a whole thing about how they showed special effects, if I'm remembering correctly. And if I'm wrong, write in roydsreview@gmail.com. In the subject line, right, Rob, you're a fucking idiot. You're a stupid asshole. Everyone wishes you were dead. This way we know what you're writing about.
Right, of course. I also, I went back the next year. And I was like, hey, where's the Twister ride? And this guy was like, oh, it's over here. I went to an alley, and he just spun his wiener around.
No, I don't like it anymore.
Yeah, I didn't like it either.
No, but that would be the helicopter ride.
So the weird thing is I like that ride better than the actual Twister ride. Yeah.
Well, what I remember about the attraction at Universal is they also had this thing where you got on like a subway and the subway broke in half.
Yeah. What was that?
It was the same attraction. It was the same thing, yeah, where they were like, you get on this, everyone loads onto this like subway thing and it like breaks. It was just like a studio effects thing, because then they also had this thing where they talk about how in old movies they used to put milk in with the water to make it appear on camera for the rain. Because I remember the guy made a joke about singing in the milk, and I went, "That's disgusting!"
I'm lactose intolerant.
And they said, "You're too old to act like that."
Yeah. Well, I do vaguely remember that.
Do you see Universal's opening up a third park?
Yeah, you were telling me about it.
That looks sick. That looks like it has pneumonia. Okay, I'm sorry.
Well,
We're
let me
doing
tell you
Twister
where-
next week.
Yeah, let me tell you where you can find our music. You go to Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your music, Deezer perhaps, and you'll find 2 albums and a Christmas song, as well as 8 collections of podcast songs by me and Robbie.
Oof.
But also, if you want to see all of them, or hear all of them, plus guest songs, plus bonus songs, you go to TheRoyds.bandcamp.com, and you will find every single song that the Royds have ever done.
That is true.
And you just might come. Robbie, the socials.
Right. You go to any social media app, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, whatever, and you type in the Royds Band. You can send us an email at roydsreview@gmail.com if you want to request a movie, give us some feedback, say nice things, say mean things. Wherever you're listening to us, give us a 5-star review. Rate it 5 stars, say whatever you'd like. It's a help.
Yeah, we
And
really appreciate it.
And as Andy says, word of mouth.
Yeah, as
What
well as
that
word.
mouth do.
Yep. Yep. What that mouth do.
It tells people about the Royds Review podcast.
That's what it should do.
That's exactly what it should do.
Yeah. If it does anything else, that's fine
Let me
too.
know, baby.
Ooh. All right, next week, Twister. Tune in for more of this dog shit.
I know I'll be there.
Yep. I'll be there with bells on.
I'll be there and I'll be square.
Wow. That's a sign off.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.